Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk. In the studio with me this evening are our commentators, Marie and Tom. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, what's the subject of our debate this evening?
We're talking about the work-life balance.
Wow, sounds interesting. What exactly does the expression work-life balance mean?
Well, work-life balance is about enjoying a good quality of life without working too much.
Yes, it's important for people to have some control over when, where and how much they work.
In other words, we are talking about the importance of not working too much.
Exactly, Eric. Today, for many people, work is the only thing they think about. We have no time for family, no time to relax, and no time for ourselves.
You're right, Marie. And of course, today with the internet and mobile phones, it's possible for people to work 24 hours a day from home, from the car, from anywhere.
That's true, but you need to have a job to live.
Of course, but work isn't the only important thing in life. Workers today are tired and feel stressed.
Yes, people are working long hours. Do you know that 30% of UK workers take work home in the evening and at weekends?
Really? In the evenings and at weekends. That's a lot of work.
Yes, it's a real problem. For our quality of life, I mean.
Right. And there are also problems at work for mothers with young children and workers who look after ill or old family members.
Of course. Are there any solutions to these issues?
Well, companies are looking for solutions. They're studying new ways of working.
What are these new ways of working?
For example, companies can introduce flexible working hours. I mean, workers start work early and finish work early, or start work late and finish work late.
Or they can encourage home working. Workers can use the internet and work from home. That way, they save time as they don't travel to the office.
Interesting solutions. And what about part-time work?
Yes, this is another way of solving the problem of too much work. Workers can work 2 or 3 days a week.
So, there are ways of finding a good work-life balance. We need to put them into practice.
That's right, Eric.
Okay, so remember, don't work too much. A good work-life balance is important for the individual, for the company, and for society. Thank you to our commentators.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And goodbye. And see you again soon for the next edition of Let's Talk. Let's have a closer look at the expressions from our debate about work. As Marie and Tom just said, many people work too much, so they are stressed and tired. Do you work long hours? To work long hours means you work a lot of hours in a day. A lot of people take work home. This means if you don't finish your work in the office, you take it home and finish it there. Can you take work home in your job? This is different from homeworking. Homeworking means you work from home. You have a computer at home with internet access, and you do your job at home. Flexible working hours means you don't work from 9 to 5 every day. You work 8 hours a day, but you can decide when you start and finish. Part-time work means you don't work every day, perhaps just 2 or 3 days a week, or only in the morning. If you work part-time, then you have a part-time job. Full-time work means you work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You work full-time. You have a full-time job. Notice how we say in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. We use in for parts of the day, but we say at night, and we say at weekends. In American English, you can also say on weekends. Let's take a quick look before we finish at some vocabulary. A mobile phone is the phone you can take everywhere with you. In American English, it's called a cell phone, and in British English, it is a mobile phone. A company is a business or organization where people work, and a worker is someone who works in an office or factory. Notice, this work comes from the verb work plus er. In English, it is common to add er to a verb to form the name of the person who does it. For example, teach plus er equals teacher. Sing plus er equals singer. And play plus er equals player. Like football player. That's all there's time for now. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk, the Saturday evening debate with our two commentators, Tom and Marie.
Good evening.
Hello.
Tom and Marie, tonight I'd like to hear your thoughts on these new ways for people to meet their ideal partner.
What do you mean, Eric?
Well, a friend of mine is going to a speed dating event next week, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know what to do. I'm curious. I'd like to try, but...
Come on, Eric. No buts. You have to go. Speed dating's great fun. And even if you don't find your soulmate, it's an interesting way to spend an evening.
That's true. Speed dating's really popular at the moment. It's a great opportunity to meet people. Sometimes very interesting people.
Yes, and sometimes you can fall in love. I know a guy who married a girl he met speed dating.
This speed dating sounds interesting. I'm single, you know, but how does it work? Perhaps you can explain this to our viewers, too. I'm sure people would like to know exactly how speed dating works. I'd certainly like to find out.
Well, speed dating events usually take place in nightclubs or pubs. The participants have a number and they sit around tables. The men are on one side, the women are on the other side.
Then the fun starts. You have 4 minutes to ask your questions. Only 4 minutes, remember. The other person asks questions too. Then you move to the next table and ask your questions again.
What kind of questions can I ask?
Anything you like. For example, what's your name? How old are you? What are your interests? The kind of questions that you ask when you meet somebody for the first time.
And what happens next?
Well, you write down your thoughts about the person. The person facing you does the same thing. At the end of the event, you give your thoughts about the people to the organisers.
What do you mean, my thoughts?
It's easy. You select the people you'd like to meet again. The organisers then add your decisions to their website.
And then what happens?
The next day you go to their website and read the results.
Oh, what results?
Well, if you select a person and that person selects you, you can meet again. Now it's time for a slow date.
Wow, it sounds really interesting and fun too. Well, I think I'll go with my friends next Wednesday to that speed dating thing. Would you like to try speed dating? Well, now it's time to say goodbye to our commentators, to Tom and Marie.
Goodbye, Eric.
Goodbye, Eric.
Goodbye. And goodbye to you. And see you again soon in our next edition of Let's Talk. Well, the speed dating sounds a little crazy, but fun. So I think I'll go. As Marie said, I don't think I'll find my soulmate, but I'll definitely meet a lot of people. A soulmate is the perfect person for you. In other words, your ideal partner. The best person to spend your life with. Do you have a soulmate? Here are some other useful expressions and words to talk about. Affairs of the heart, for example. A date is a meeting with a special person. We say, go on a date, or I've got a date with somebody. For example, I've got a date with Lucy. If you do have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, then you are in a relationship. You say, I'm in a relationship. When you fall in love with someone, you like the person a lot. It's a wonderful feeling, and beautiful things happen. And you say you are in love with that person. And if you are in love with a person, you may decide to marry them in a church or a town hall. When you marry, you form a legal union with a person forever, and you say, I'm married. But it doesn't always last forever. People sometimes divorce. They separate from the person they marry, so they are divorced, and they say, I'm divorced. Do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Are you single? Well, if you're not in a relationship, then perhaps you'd like to try speed dating one day too. That's all for me for now. See you again soon.